welcome to the Planet Pearl podcast. Happy New Year to you all. My name is Berlin, and this is a podcast about knitting, crochet, and all the crafty things I make from my home in Christchurch, New Zealand. If you're new here, a very warm welcome to you. If you're coming back, welcome back. Thank you so much for your continued support to my channel. I truly appreciate you choosing to spend some time with me, and I hope that you enjoy this episode. You can find all the links to the social media and all the things that I talk about in the description box below. Today is the 8th of January. It's a very wet day here in Christchurch. Today's podcast, I have a little show and tell of things that are off my hooks and needles, a few things that I am working on my hooks and needles, pretty things that came in the mail, in the Pretties in the post section, and also a few of my favorite things in the few of my favorite things section. Let's get started. Today in Off the Hooks and Needles section, or what I have finished working on, continuing from where I left off last time, I finished my shawl. The yarn is a dark shade of brown with a tinge of pink and purple depending on where the light hits it, and it was a little hard knitting on it because of the dark color, and I also knit only in the evenings, so there's not much light, and so it's a bit hard to see. But like I mentioned before, I made few mistakes without realizing it, and I think the dark yarn covers up the mistakes really well. I also love how the light comes through the lace section in it, and it's so soft. The pattern is called Campside Shawl by Alicia Plummer. I had the shawl in my Ravelry queue forever, and I'm really happy I finished it now. I used a 4.5 Shagu circular needles. The yarn that I used is called Bohemia Gothic, which is a blend of alpaca, possum and polward. Alpaca used in this yarn is a black alpaca, which gives its moody dark color. So the colors that I used for the body is Ruthven, which is the dark brownish shade of color, and the color that I used for the border is called Radcliffe. I used Jenny's stretchy bind off for binding off the shawl, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I cannot wait to wear it during winter. I have not yet blocked the shawl or opening the ends, but I'll get to it very soon, I promise. So that's my first finished object. The next project I finished is a pair of socks. Yes, I finished it. So the first socks I finished, my son wanted it for himself and has been wearing it all the time. So when he asked me for another pair, I had to make it. I finished the cuff, the leg, the heel and the toe decrease, and then I was feeling really intimidated by the Kitchener stitch on the for the toes, and I kept putting it off, and then my friend Carmen came to visit me one day, and I was showing her this socks, and she said, "Do you want me to do it for you?" And I said, "Of course, yeah." I'm not going to say no to that. And so she took all of 10 minutes to finish both of them. Again, the ends are not woven in, and my son is like, "How long does it take to weave in the ends?" And I need to get into a mind frame before I can do all the weaving in at one go. So this is another pair, and it fits my son perfectly, and I'm so happy I made it for him. So the yarn that I used is called Peyton's Croy socks in the colorway Camel. I think it's called Campbell. Yeah, let me just check. Yeah, The color is called Camel Colors. I used 2.5 mm, no, I used 3 mm DPNs, knit prosings. I love using DPNs. And the pattern is a simple vanilla sock pattern that I got when I took my sock knitting classes. So the pattern I use for all my socks. The yarn was a gift from my mom when she visited my brother a long time back when he lived in the US. This is my second finished project, and again I'm really happy. It's a really thick sock, so I think it will be really good in winter. The last project that I have to show you today, I have chatted about this project as well before, and it is my granny square cushion cover that I made as store sample. So I teach crochet classes at Outlaw HQ. They are free classes, and I teach people how to make a granny square. I start from the basics and then we go on to make a granny square, and I thought it would be a good idea to have something to give them ideas about what they can make with a granny square. So this is one side of the cushion, which is different granny squares joined together, and this side is just one giant granny square. I cannot remember the hook size. I think I used a 4.5 mm addy hook for this one. I whip stitched all the squares together. The yarn I used is banded yarn. It's a wool yarn. I have used all the colors that we have in the shop, almost all of them, not all of it, most of them. Again, the ends are not woven in. I'm getting to it. That is another project that I finished. On my hooks and needles, I want to show you what I am working on currently. Starting from this new year, I have been only working on my pearl sweater. I started this pearl sweater a very long time back, but then I kept putting it down whenever I saw a nice pattern or a yarn, and then I completely forgot where I was working on this sweater. And I could not figure it out because I'm not very good at reading the patterns from my knitting, and also I still struggle with reading patterns from a chart and from a paper. I'm still a beginner knitter, and this is my very first knitting project. So Carmen, my friend, again helped me a lot with making this sweater, and I have now I have now joined the sweater. This is how far I have worked on it. I have joined for the sleeves on the side, and then I am working on the lace in the front and at the back, and I am using 6 mm circular addy needles and Outlaw Nix yarn in the color Talisman. I love this color. The color is not showing correctly on the camera, but it's a dark mustardy, beautiful yellow color, and I have it in my project bag that I made. Elephants are my absolute favorite animals. I have the elephant print on it, linen fabric, and a measuring tape drawstring. It has pockets inside to hold my patterns on both sides for notions and everything. I also have two pins. One says Pro Crafty Knitter and the other is just a ball of yarn in a basket. That is what I'm currently working on, and I plan to only finish this project, then move on to anything else. In Creative Dreams this year, I want to make more clothes for myself. Every year I plan for having a handmade wardrobe, then every year I get distracted by something or the other. At least this year I want to be more intentional about what I'm making, how my clothes will fit with each other, and a complete wardrobe. That's what I've been dreaming but never doing anything about it. So I want to be more intentional about doing that. And of course, finish some of my long languishing unfinished projects. On to a few of my favorite things. To start off with some of the shows that I enjoyed. First one was The Last Kingdom. I loved it. It is a violent, lot of gore and killing, but we enjoyed it. This show has 4 seasons and we binge watched all 4 continuously. After that we watched Troy, The Fall of a City. Again, a lot of violence. Still, we liked to follow the Greek mythology. That was good as well. Movies that we enjoyed was just one that we saw, and that was The General Store. It's more of a crime-solving kind of movie with John Travolta. It was good. Watch Bridgerton. While I enjoyed the costumes, the sets and everything in it, I did not enjoy the story. It was lacking for me. I loved Penelope's character. Penelope is my favorite. I love her outfits and her hair. What a genuine friend she is. And yeah, I don't want to spoil. Anyway, that was a podcast. What I've been enjoying, been watching from the very beginning is Sweet Lavender Knits. I love Christine's calm, sweet way of talking. She's really lovely to connect with online as well. Really enjoy her podcast, which leads me into some of my favorite things that I have received. There's a pouch that she made me, and she sent me a really lovely package. If you see on my Vlogmas, you can see that. And this pouch was there, and I have filled it with all my notions in it, and everything fits in it. I love it. I love the print. I love the orange zipper, the little tab on, the little zipper pull. It's my favorite. I have everything in it. One day I might show what I have in it as well. And then another thing that I got as a Christmas present from Deb is this beautiful yarn from Bleating Art. Alice does not tie yarn anymore. I followed her blog Crochet with Raymond way back when we lived in Kuwait. It's cool to follow people from the beginning. Followed her when she started dyeing and stopped dyeing by the time I came back. I was really happy to get these yarn as a gift for Christmas. And I also had a lovely pin that Deb gave me. It says Stay Weird. It's from Jubileum. That was a lovely gift as well. In Pretties in the Post, my absolute favorite thing this year was my Hobonichi journals. I got Hobonichi Weeks and a Liberty cover for it. I can't tell you how much I love it. First of all, Liberty is my all-time favorite fabric. I love this dark color because I know I will make it dirty. I got the Wild Orchid, and I'm using it as my planner and my wallet. So keep my cash, my cards, and my planner inside, and I can also clip a pen in. I really love it. Other than the print, there is a really cute, I don't know if you can see this, but there is a really cute birdie at the end of the zipper pull. Cannot stop looking at it. It's so cute. Hobonichi is one of my favorite planners to use. I discovered it last year. I enjoyed it so much through the year, and I couldn't wait to get my next one, and I got the day-free one. And I'm using it as my art journal. I have just made a start on a page to do for my word of the year. For this year, I have chosen the word grace. I want to incorporate grace into every interaction in my life. I hope to work towards that. I have that in this journal. I really love this cover. I wanted the one with the linen and embroidery roses on it. It was sold out, but I love this. I can't wait to do more on this one. Then I got a Midori diary that is an A6. I just write all the events that happened every day in these pages, just so that I will remember what happened, because the days seem to fade so fast and I cannot remember what happened on a particular day. I want to just make note of what happened, things that happened in this one. That is my everyday journal. And another thing that I got in the mail is yarn. It is a sparkly yarn, and this colorway is called Dance Party. It's really pretty. I love this yarn. I think I will make socks with it. Another pretty thing that I got was a sock from Dreamfire artisan yarn. That's another thing. Oh, I forgot the most important thing. Okay, so I got a custom cup made for me, and it has my logo on it, and it says Purl Up and Crochet. When I started blogging, I was never happy with the name I had for my blog, and I would keep changing the names of my blog every time I thought of something. I had Purl Up and Crochet as a blog name for some time before. All of this happened before I settled on the name Planet Pearl. This was from a company called Lost Studios. She makes custom cups. She makes really cool stuff. I got this Purl Up and Crochet printed onto it with my logo. I wanted to show it on the podcast before I started using it, and so I've been saving it. But now that I have shown it here, I can go on and use it. So that's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you did like, please comment, subscribe and like. I would love to read your comments on what you think of my projects, what you've been doing, just to connect. I feel that this podcast is a way for me to connect with the community, create a space for everybody is welcome, where we can chat and talk about things that we like, what we've been making, share our acquisitions. So I really hope that this podcast will be a nice community for us to get together and just enjoy each other's company. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.